You ever look around and wonder why some married women, yes, women with rings on their fingers, pictures of happy families on their walls, and husbands who think they're secure, end up in situations they never imagined? You ever ask yourself how someone could make vows one year and be in someone else's arms the next? Now, let's not pretend this is a simple story. It's not about good versus bad or pointing fingers. It's deeper. It's psychological, emotional, human. Today, I'm going to walk you through something most people are scared to talk about, but it needs to be said. Because the truth? Married women, yes, married, can sometimes be the easiest targets. Not because they're weak, but because they're overlooked. And when someone feels overlooked, they crave to be seen again. So get comfortable. This isn't a lecture, this is a real talk. The kind that makes you reflect. The kind that opens your eyes. Let me tell you a story. There's a woman named Julia, married for 7 years. 2 kids, decent house. From the outside, everything looked fine. She smiled at PTA meetings, she cooked dinner, she even posted anniversary pictures online. But every night when the kids went to sleep and the house got quiet, Julia felt something most people don't talk about. Loneliness. You see, she and her husband weren't fighting. There wasn't any major drama, but somewhere between the bills, the diaper changes, the schedules, and the small talk, the connection faded. Like a once bright photo left in the sun too long. And here's the dangerous part. When someone's emotionally starving, they're vulnerable to anyone who offers a taste of something different. It's not about physical beauty. It's about emotional curiosity. And Julia was curious. Curious if she could still feel, still be desired, still be noticed. That's where the door cracked open, not wide, just enough for a breeze to slip in. Now let's talk about the other side of this, the person who notices that crack in the door. He's not always the stereotypical player people imagine. Sometimes he's someone who knows how to listen. He compliments what her husband forgot to. He remembers little things. He asks how her day was and actually waits for the answer. He's not selling lust. He's offering something that feels safer. Attention. This is where it gets real uncomfortable. Because when a woman starts to feel emotionally seen, especially when she's been invisible for years, that attention feels like oxygen. Not all men who give this kind of attention are predators, but the ones who know exactly what they're doing, the ones who study emotional gaps in relationships, they are the most dangerous because they don't have to chase. They just wait. They wait for that day she argues with her husband. The night she drinks a little too much wine, the moment she posts something a little cryptic on her story, and then they slide in, not aggressive, not obvious, just there. That's how it starts, not with fireworks, but with understanding. People. Assume married women are off limits, protected by commitment, rings, shared mortgages. But here's the reality. The idea of marriage as a force field is a myth. When a woman is unhappy but still holding on to a commitment, she often becomes the master of pretending. She doesn't want to cause problems. She doesn't want to look like the villain. So she suppresses, and suppression leads to silence. And silence is where secrets are born. Think about this. When a woman feels like she has no room to express herself in her marriage, the one place she feels safe doing, that becomes addictive, even if it's with the wrong person, especially if it's with someone who doesn't judge her but instead validates her. That validation becomes intoxicating. And once someone feels that deeply seen, the boundaries start to blur. Now, I'm not here to justify cheating. Not at all. But I am here to explain why it happens. Because understanding the truth is the first step toward avoiding it. When Julia started texting late at night, she told herself it was innocent, just conversation. When she met for coffee, just to talk. It was nothing, she thought, but every small choice led to a larger one. And the truth is, emotional cheating almost always comes before anything physical. That's what makes it so dangerous. It doesn't feel like cheating at first. It feels like comfort, relief, clarity. But when you've been walking through emotional fog for years, even the wrong light can feel like a sunrise. The moment Julia crossed that line, she didn't feel empowered. She felt torn, because even in the arms of someone new, she still carried the weight of her vows. That's the tragic part. Most of the time, it doesn't feel like a conquest. It feels like confusion. Guilt and desire dancing together in the same breath. It's easy to think these kinds of situations are glamorous or full of passion, but you know what's behind the curtain? Pain. Julia didn't end up happy. She didn't run off into the sunset. The attention that once felt magical turned into a mess. Her marriage fractured. Her kids noticed the tension. And the man who once made her feel like gold, he disappeared the moment things got real. That's the thing about these connections. They thrive in fantasy, but reality demands more. And the cost of that fantasy? It's almost never worth it. Because no matter how tempting that outside attention feels, the fallout is never clean. It's messy. It's complicated. It's filled with shame and silence and emotional wounds that take years to heal. Let's go deeper. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of married women carry an unspoken hunger, not for another man, but for themselves. They miss who they used to be, the way they used to laugh, the way they used to feel sexy, vibrant, alive. Not just a mother, not just a wife, a woman. And when someone comes along and reflects that version of themselves back at them, it's tempting. The real prey isn't the woman, it's her forgotten self. And the one who lures her in, he's just holding a mirror. That's what makes this so complicated. It's not black and white, it's emotional gray. So what's the solution? How do we stop this? First, we need honesty, real honesty, between couples, within marriages. No more silent suffering. No more pretending things are fine. And second, we need to recognize emotional needs as real needs. Not luxuries, not drama. When a woman says she feels invisible, it's not an overreaction. It's a red flag. Married women become vulnerable when they stop being emotionally seen in their own homes. Period. And for the men watching, if you think everything's good because there's no fighting, no yelling, think again. Silence is not peace. Silence can be the loudest warning sign there is. This isn't about judgment. This is about awareness, about empathy, about understanding what drives human behavior. Because behind every married woman who strays, there's a story. And behind every story, there's a chance to understand something deeper about ourselves. To the husbands, be present. Be curious. Be emotionally available. Not just physically in the room, but with her. To the women, if you feel unseen, speak. Don't wait until someone else listens first. You deserve more than silent suffering. And to anyone who thinks they can play with emotions and leave without damage, understand this. Hearts aren't toys. When you tamper with someone's loneliness, you take responsibility for the storm that follows. The truth about married women being easy prey isn't about who they are. It's about what they've been denied. Connection, attention, and above, all being remembered. So remember her, not just on anniversaries, not just when things are falling apart, every day. Because the best way to protect a marriage is to never let your partner feel alone in it. If this hit you somewhere deep, it was meant to. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're in the middle of one of these stories, pause, breathe, and make a different choice today. We all deserve to be seen, but let's not become blind chasing what we already had simply because we stopped watering it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.